Welcome back to Fre Emblem. In this battle we finally get into the rudiments of strategy, a strategy RPG. Basically, it's a bit more complex of a map, and there's actually a bit of a risk this time. It's a very real chance that you might actually lose a unit if you're careless in this case. The game doesn't really ramp up in difficulty, at this point at least. It's still definitely tutorial, but yeah, it's still... This is I'd say the real start of the game where you can really start playing it. Everything before this has pretty much been mildly controlled, but more or less set on a straight path. Now you can really approach this how you want and play the game. And now we're being introduced to another new class of character, the Archer. And oh man, this music, I love it. Seriously, when I heard this in Super Smash Bros. Melee, I never used the other music in the Hyrule Temple stage. Like, this is just so pulse-pounding and so great, I love it. Fire Emblem has really good music, but this song, oh man. So yes, meet Wil the Archer. He can fire arrows. It's a completely range-based character. If someone attacks him directly, he can't fight back at all. But at the same time, archers are ridiculously versatile. You can use them to fire over obstacles, you can use them to attack melee enemies and have no fear of retaliation whatsoever. They make fantastic support, and I really love making use of them. On the other hand, they are quite fragile, and if you're careful, then, or if you're not careful I should say, then they will die really quickly, so you want to keep them in the back lines, but if you put a strong character in front and them behind, you've basically got a powerful force going away. But of course, they can't just let you experiment with that. That's too complex of a concept for us to imagine. So no, they're going to tell us exactly how to use indirect combat to attack someone indirectly. Boom. Yeah, archers are actually one of my favorite types of characters to use after... Now, I've always been a melee biased person since pretty much before I even really played video games. As like a little kid, I still just liked hitting things with sticks and whatnot. But archers are just really fantastic in Fire Emblem, and I really like making use of them. So yeah, now they're going to explain how to use the other new class. Because I guess it's just such a complex idea that you could not pick up on it. I guess I'm sounding a bit like a broken record at this point. The Slim Lance is actually a bit of a unique weapon because basically it's weaker than the standard weapons, but it pretty much guarantees you'll be able to hit twice, which is very handy. But yes, now that we're actually controlling these characters, we should talk about the absolute terribleness that just completely undermines the Pegasus Knights, in my opinion. See, they have massive weaknesses. Sure, they're resistant to magic, but they have very low health, very low defense, and they're incredibly weak to arrows. They will take, as far as I can tell, triple damage against any archer, basically guaranteeing their death or at least going into critical health. So yeah. Even though they have massive movement range, you can't just recklessly charge forward because odds are there'll be an archer just in range there to kill you and then you're just screwed. And even then, even if there's no archer, you're still a remarkably fragile character, so you're not really gonna survive long. It just seems like a bit of a mismatch. Now we're getting the official explanation of it. So, in addition to fearing men, she also fears archers. Sucks to be Will. If at some point in the game it's possible to get them to get married or something, Fire Emblem Awakening style, I'm totally doing it though. I don't know what it is, but I just I love just pairing up the worst possible characters in Fire Emblem. Yep, Florina, however you say it, is scared of bows, and that's your story bit to go along with the gameplay element of her being incredibly weak to archers, and you have to avoid them at all costs, otherwise she'll die a horrible death. And that's why I don't like using Pegasus Knights. Yeah, basically, arrows are like a guaranteed critical hit, but they're still not technically a critical hit, so they can get a critical hit as well, which just... yeah. The handy thing, though, with Pegasus Knights is that they definitely have the absolute best movement capabilities in the entire game. They can go over so many things and stuff, so they make great units to just fly past everyone and go to towns that are in danger or something like that. But you better hope there's no one else around or they're just gonna kill her. Every unit has their use, and I've definitely been able to use Florina a bit, but just Pegasus Knights as a rule just aren't worth the time, in my opinion. I'm sure there's some sort of crazy strategy you can look up on GameFAQs that makes her actually useful, but I haven't really been able to pick up on that. That's lame. I wish that units could fight with like their fists. Oh, you know, it'd be awesome if they fought like Amaterasu no Kami when you have no ink. That'd be amazing. Doink. I do really enjoy how the animations work with it. They're really brutal, I gotta say. How they literally pass right through the enemies. I really didn't expect that from a Nintendo game of all things. I don't know. Yeah, there's me forgetting that enemies can run through enemies. I thought I had the archer trapped there against Sane, but nope. I really like using archers, but at the same time it's also really fun with enemy archers because they're really stupid and you'll get a lot of opportunities to go up directly and just beat them up and they can't fight back.
I mean, what?
And this whole time all I could do is wish that Sane could use a double attack for once. Just need to get his speed up. Too bad it's completely random. Yeah, level ups in Fire Emblem, I should talk about that. When you level up, basically there's a set percentage chance for each stat to go up, and different classes have different likelihoods of each stat going up. Like you might have like an 80% chance of health going up, but only like a 20% of, say, luck going up. So if you're really lucky, all of your stats could go up. If you're unlucky, well, I'm not sure if no stats can go up, but you can have minimal change. If you're really unlucky, you can go through the entire game barely getting any stat boosts whatsoever, and basically having the same character you had from the start. And that would just suck. But yeah, a high-level archer will take you very far in a game like Fire Emblem. Especially, it's served me well in Sacred Stones, right alongside Thief, because ridiculously high speed, they're basically guaranteed not to get hit, but then also they would almost always attack twice. See, I have like nothing to do with Florina here because of that stupid archer I can't do anything about, so I'm not going to send her into the charge, she'll just die. Like, you always have to keep an eye on it, whether or not there's an archer. I guess I couldn't remember if she had a lance or not to start off with, but she can use lances. Anyone who can use lances can use javelins to do damage from a space across, like an archer would. Oh, crap. Yeah. Something that I very rarely remember to take into account is that odds are your enemies are going to just throw themselves against you and they'll all die. And that opens up spaces for your enemies to move to attack you from places you can't foresee on your own turn. In this case, I thought I was being smart with Florina, but then my enemies got defeated and the archer came in and got ahead. So yeah, that really sucked. Yeah, these new classes basically are introduced and they're very specialized, and as such you need to go to great lengths to preserve them. Because after all, permanent death Fire Emblem, so if they're gone, and then you lose their specialized abilities, which really sucks. Anyways, it's time to beat up a bandit. Just have to make my way all the way over there. Any minute now. Granted, I could probably fly up with Florina, but then she'd die. And it's kind of weird that the village isn't considered a solid object. Oh well. Poor Will. He's so slow. Anyway, it's time to take out Miguel, whatever. Yeah, it's time to show off the legendary Manikari with a whopping 24% critical hit rate. Or 22, I should say, I guess. Just brings up a conversation like, yeah, just what I'm meaning to ask you before I kill you with my sword. But yeah, so I guess like in Sacred Stones, there are conversations, but I don't really, because this is a blind run when I was playing this, I don't know what triggers what. So like there are some obvious ones where I've been able to get some extra dialogue, but I'm sorry if I missed anything. Just gonna apologize in advance. See, only Televerge there to die. That's racist? Question mark. Some of these conversations go on for a hilariously long time. Yes. Watch your tongue. And then he was destroyed completely. You know, I like this. Lynn tried to warn him, and he's like, nope, you're a woman. And then she just disappeared and slashed into pieces. And that's how it all works out. And with Lynn leveling up, I think now's a good time to finish up. See you next time.